Find out why the IRS has recently just sent out a letter to millions of Americans asking for their money back, their stimulus money back. Are they serious? Why yet another top economist believes that a forced stimulus check is necessary for struggling U.S. citizens, and the great news of a popular stimulus proposal that is now shining new light on permanent. Here is your daily stimulus check, second stimulus check, third stimulus check, fourth stimulus check, executive action, executive order, and stimulus package update. The IRS recently announced that they have sent out millions of stimulus check notices this year, the majority of which were related to stimulus payments throughout the pandemic. According to Taxpayers Advocate Service, the IRS sent out nearly 9 million tax stimulus alerts between January 1st and July 15th this year. Compared that to 628,997 sent in the same period last year, about 7.4 million were related to stimulus payments. Wow, that's a lot of mail, snail mail. Man, wonder how much it costs them to even, interact with people. This is going to be expensive, even just trying to get the money back if they really want it back. Dan Huron, a CFP and a CPA with Elemental Wealth Advisors, explained, quote, one of the biggest issues we're having is the reconciliation, and not the bill, but the reconciliation of stimulus payments. The IRS is sending out balance due notices with no calculation or explanation analysis, end quote. And if you know a CPA, they like their numbers to be accurate, balanced, and right. So how do you make, if 1 plus 2 plus, equals what? I don't know. Hopefully the IRS can solve these pesky tax issues, as millions of Americans shouldn't have to pay back vital stimulus checks to the government. After all, we've been through in the past 20 months of craziness. Just, spend the money. Just think, do an ad, say, look, if you got your stimulus money by mistake, go buy something from like a local store, from a struggling small business, or go eat out. Meanwhile, a new study from the Capital One Insight Center showed that millions of Americans continue to face economic uncertainty. I know you guys are, because you see it in the comments, and the need for a forced stimulus check is still vital for so many U.S. citizens. A year removed from the worst of the pandemic, low-income earners have seen relatively low improvements, even with 3 rounds of stimulus checks. Yep, 3 rounds of stimulus checks, with most still bringing in less wages than before the pandemic began. As you know, before we came into this, most people didn't have even $400 if a problem hit them, right? They also found, quote, more than half of all low-income earners also reported being less secure in their job as August 2021 than before the pandemic began, end quote. But it's not just low-income Americans struggling to get by. 1 in 5 middle earner report they had more debt in spring of 2021 than prior to the pandemic. Go figure. And the same numbers said that they continue to struggle to come up with funds to pay their bills. With millions of both low-income and middle-income Americans still in need of a forced stimulus check, I hope that our lawmakers can put the work in to deliver the important direct payment disaster relief stimulus checks to U.S. citizens. They still require, stop going back and forth with all this, I gave you a chance. Forget that. Forget it right now. This is like, look around. Look what's happened to the economy. We got tons of businesses, even at the PPP, like literally. I think 20% of the businesses are still going out of business, and now they have the burden of the PPP loan on top of that. Finally, we've talked a lot about the popular stimulus check proposal that is getting awfully close to 3 million signatures, but the author of the stimulus petition is set setting their sights on making another stimulus check program permanent. Stephen Bonney, a Denver resident owner, is now making a push to make the popular expanded child tax credit permanent. She explains, quote, "I'm surprised that it hasn't gone through the roof because we have a chance of making this permanent. Yes, it's not a monthly stimulus check with those words, but it's a monthly check to families with kids." While the White House has yet to comment on a forced stimulus check of monthly additional payments, President Biden has vocalized his support of the child tax credit multiple times in the past year, making the child tax credit stimulus check permanent. Yes. It would help millions of American families in all states and territories, and I hope that the new disaster relief proposal can be approved by Congress and signed into law by yours truly, President Biden, soon. Well, that's your stimulus check for today, and your second stimulus check, third stimulus check, executive action, and stimulus package update. Thank you so much for watching and for sticking around to the end. Please leave a comment with the song that you can currently have on repeat